What's up, folks? Jeff Everhart here. I'm really excited to bring you this quick demo video to show you about some of the upgrades that we're making to Nock's translation system. It's been possible for a while to do programmatic translations in Nock using our translation files, and if we dive into this English translation file, we can see what those look like. Now, the way that this works in Nock is that each translation file is basically a JSON object where we specify a key that's going to be the same across all of our different translation files than the actual value of that key, of that string in the target language. So here we've got a welcome message key and this welcome message in English. If we look at our Spanish translation file, you can see that we're still using that welcome message key, but we have a Spanish string here instead. Now let's hop out to an internationalized workflow real quick and take a look at how that works inside of a message template. So if I open this message template, we'll see that we're using these liquid tags, and in particular this T filter, which stands for translation, to get that welcome message key off of our translations, and then we'll actually display that for the user. So if we have a user who doesn't have a locale specified, meaning we fall back to the English default, or one that is English, they'll see that English message. But if we come in here and we select another user who has a Spanish locale defined, we'll see that instead we show them that translated string in the Spanish target language. Now, this worked great for a lot of teams, but as we've rolled this out to more and more users, we felt that there was a way to expand the usefulness of our translation system by adding another abstraction. And now, obviously, the current system works really well because you don't have to scale the number of templates that you have with the number of languages you want to support. You're able to do that programmatically using these JSON files, and that's all very nice to manage. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to provide an additional abstraction that would allow less technical users to also participate in creating translation files. So we figured out a way to do that automatically. And at the same time, we've also brought some additional support for different file formats if you want to use a translation service on the back end. So we've introduced this new T tag, which we use like any other liquid tag. And what we do here is we include basically that translatable string inside of this T tag. So if we save these changes, come back out here and commit those changes to development, we'll see this diff where we see that we're adding this additional translatable string. So if I commit these to development and then hop back out to my commits and head to my commit log, we can see here that this migration bot has basically updated this English translation system file for us. So if we open this translations page and go into this particular file and refresh, we'll see, how does Nock translate that string that we just created in there. Now, what this allows us to do is in your code base or as a part of your CI/CD workflow, we can work with translations programmatically, either using the management API or the CLI. So what I'll do here is I'm going to go ahead and just pull all of my translations down locally into this Nock translations folder. And we'll just say yes to overwrite them. We can see what those look like, right? So we have the user-defined translations that we just looked at here, but we also have this system-defined translation file as well. If we open up our Spanish folder, we still just have that user-defined file. Now, what this allows us to do is say we wanted to take this system file and send it off to a translation service to automatically generate all of those Spanish translations. We could do that either using the JSON, but we've also added support for an additional file format called the PO file, which stands for portable object. So I'll go ahead and pull those down just so we can look at them. Now, this is a different file format. It's a little bit older, but it is supported by a lot of different translation services. So the idea here is that your template editors could go in, use that T tag to automatically create this translatable string inside of this system file. Then you could get that file either in JSON format or as a PO file, send that off to your translation service, and then you can use the Nock translation push command to push that back up to Nock and automatically commit it. We're really excited to roll this new feature out to teams and to provide them a little bit more flexibility in how they define their translations as editors or how they integrate with other services to automate that translation process. Thanks for watching, and knock on.